Presented by the all-new 2017 Ridgeline, our newest vehicle and their newest band. Honda, official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Welcome to Rogers Center. It is a hot, muggy evening. 34 degrees at the start of play tonight. This is the rubber match of this three-game series. Kevin Cash and the Tampa Bay Rays won last night. They scored 9 runs on 15 hits, and all Blue Jays could muster 2 runs on 6 hits. So Jay Happ and Blake Snell will go head-to-head tonight. Let's take a look at the lineup for Tampa Bay, and right at the top of the order, Logan Forsythe. He has done a great job all season long. He's got 15 hits against the Blue Jays for the season. He's 6 for 10 in this series, and he's homered in both of the first 2 games. Evan Longoria has always hit well against tonight's starter, Jay Happ. He's 10 for 26, a .385 average. So Jay Happ and his 15 wins, he's in for a tough match tonight against this Tampa Bay lineup.
He won that 15th game in his last start. That was at Houston. That ties him now with Steven Strasburg and Rick Porcello for the Major League lead in wins with 15. A very good ERA at .309. He had a great month of July. 4-0 with a 1.48 ERA. That was the lowest mark in the American League. He started off August hot, too. One down in Houston. He has now won 9 consecutive decisions.
First pitch is up and away for a ball to Logan Forsythe, and we are underway. We mentioned Forsythe, 15 hits in 37 at-bats for the season against the Blue Jays, batting .405 against the Jays.
Got to figure out how to get this guy out.
There's another hit. A leadoff base hit. Barney over to cut it off. He gets it back in quickly to hold Forsythe to a single. Forsythe has had a base hit in each of his first leadoff at-bats in this series. Take a look at the defense for the Blue Jays. Darwin Barney making his 4th start in left field. Melvin Upton Jr.'s in center, and Michael Saunders is in right. In case you just joined us, Bautista's on the disabled list. Donaldson, Tulowitzki, Travis, and Smoke around the infield. Russell Martin behind the plate for Jay Happ.
And you just said it, he's on the DL, so right field's going to be very important. This is Michael Saunders. He gets the start tonight, his 2nd in right field. It looks like Junior Lake and Daryl Siciliani are going to form a platoon out there while Jose is on the disabled list. We can talk about that at length as we get into this ball game. Tonight, Michael Saunders gets the start in right.
Kevin Kiermaier spent 7 weeks on the disabled list with a broken hand. But he still has 15 hits against the Blue Jays. They can't figure out how to get him out. He's hitting in the 2 spot since he has returned from the DL.
He hurt that in Detroit when the team was playing the Tigers, and he said his family was there. Everybody was excited to watch him play, and they saw about 4 innings.
Kiermaier bunts it to third. It's a good one, and Donaldson's going to throw, not in time. Happ and Tulowitzki headed toward third, but Forsythe and Kiermaier, they have both killed the Blue Jays all season long, and they get off to a fast start tonight.
That was a perfect bunt right there by Kiermaier. You almost have to be perfect to get the out. One more time. You can see Josh is in. He comes charging in. It's a perfect bunt. On the throw over there, he hits the ground hard as he runs into Russell Martin. And momentarily he was down. It looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he really got hit when he was most vulnerable because he was relaxed, not expecting to run into Martin. But he appears to be okay back at third base. So another fast start for Tampa Bay. The first 2 reach here in the first, and now they got to deal with Evan Longoria. Longoria had a 3-hit game last night. He drove in 3 runs.
John Gibbons is trying to figure out what he can do to get these guys, the Tampa Bay Rays, keep them off the bases. Everything they have swung at.
This should be 2, but it kicks up on Travis. He'll go to first just in time. And that's one thing we have seen from the Blue Jays over the last 5 or 6 games. They've made some mistakes defensively that has hurt them. That should have been a double play.
Yeah, especially on double play balls. This is Taylor May, one hopper right at Devin Travis, but it skips up on him. He can only record the out over at first base. We saw a play earlier on this homestand where Marcus Stroman had a chance to turn a double play, and it ended up costing him also on a high throw. That time, instead of 2 outs, runner at third base, you got to face the very hot Brad Miller now with just 1 out and a couple of runners in scoring position.
Miller in this series has 3 doubles, and he goes after the first pitch, and they've got a shot at the runner coming home. What a mistake by Forsythe. Well, he made a base running mistake not running on Bautista on a fly ball in game 1. And right here, a little tapper back to the mound. He runs into an out at home plate.
That'll wipe off one of those players in scoring position. You're taught you got to make that ball get by the pitcher. Jay Happ is right there. He makes a good throw to Russell Martin. Forsythe runs into an out. Looked like Kiermaier had held up, but Forsythe was gambling that that ball was going to get by Jay Happ, and it didn't.
Yeah, I'm surprised Kiermaier didn't move up. As soon as the throw goes to home, he's got to break to third. So now Kiermaier is still at second. Brad Miller's at first on the fielder's choice, but there are 2 outs. Mikey Matuk. He's in left field again tonight. He started all 3 games in this series. Well, what a break if Jay Happ can get out of this inning. Second and third, 1 out. Now there are 2 outs with runners at first and second. And he's ahead of Matuk, 0-2.
His fastball has been so good this year, and by that I mean he's been able to throw it for strike 1, getting ahead of the hitter. He's been able to finish him off with fastballs. He can go inside, he can go outside. And one pitch that has been really good for him has been that high fastball. He's been using it a lot lately to get strikeouts.
0-2 to Matuk. Foul back. Jay Happ throws the 5th highest percentage of fastballs in the game. Bartolo Colon throws almost 90% fastballs. Sanchez is second. Happ is 5th. He throws 71% of his pitches are fastballs.
He can cut his fastball, he can turn his fastball over, and he can use that forcing fastball up in the strike zone.
There's the fastball fouled out. Happ also has the 5th best opponent's batting average on the fastball. Opponent's hitting just .215 against his heater. The 4 pitchers ahead of Happ in that category: Arrieta, Ian Kennedy, Max Scherzer, and Steven Strasburg.
All household names in baseball.
0-2. Bounced and blocked by Martin. Nice play by Russell. That's a tough one when it hits so far out in front of home.
You have no idea where that ball's going to bounce. That is a spike job right there. Breaking ball, and he spikes it right into the ground. That thing looked like it hit right on the dirt out in front of home plate. Russell can keep it in front of him.
Strike 3 call. Oh, what a job by Jay Happ. He gets helped out by Logan Forsythe running into an out at home, but Happ strikes out Matuk. No score after a half inning. In the top half of the first inning, the first two reach on base hits, but they strand a pair of base runners. So John Gibbons Ball Club will bat with no score in this game. Devin Travis, top of the order, and what a job he has done. He was hitting 188 on June 14th. In this series, 5 for 9, batting .303 for the season. And Josh Donaldson, this last two seasons against left-handed pitching, he's at over 300 with 14 home runs and 40 RBIs. The Blue Jays have not played well against left-handed starters this season, 15 and 18 for the season.
And they get another one tonight at Blake Snell. This is the top prospect in the Tampa Bay Rays system. He's 3-4 with a .295 earned run average. That ERA of .295, second in the American League for rookie starters behind Michael Fulmer of the Detroit Tigers. Fulmer is at .243. He has given up 2 runs or fewer in 5 straight starts. So Snell comes into this start against the Blue Jays, a very hot pitcher.
Of course, the Blue Jays have never seen Snell. First pitch is in there for a strike. We mentioned Devin Travis, his average at .303. He was hitting 188 on June 14th. He's at .353 cents. Ground ball, base hit into left. Devin Travis, a leadoff single. Take a look at the defense for the Tampa Bay Rays. Mikey Wachuk is in left. Kevin Kiermaier, the speedsters, in center. Steven Souza Jr. in right with a strong arm. Evan Longoria and Tim Beckham on the left side of the infield. Logan Forsythe and Brad Miller on the right side. And the catcher, second game in a row, Luke Mailey's been behind the plate.
Logan Forsythe at second base. This is his 80th start at second base. He's the third middle infielder in Rays history with back-to-back seasons of double-digit home runs. Ben Zobrist did it. Jorge Cantu did it. And now Logan Forsythe. We've already seen his bat in this series. We know he can hit.
Fastball away to Josh Donaldson. We mentioned his numbers against lefties the last 2 seasons. He's hit .309 against left-handers with 14 home runs. He also has done a good job hitting in this ballpark. Rogers Center. Down and in. Donaldson has an OPS of .989 hitting at home here at Rogers Center. That's 5th best among American League hitters hitting at home.
I remember asking him last year when he first came to the Blue Jays, how do you think it's going to be hitting in this ballpark as opposed to Oakland? I don't know. It might not be a big difference. Huh. It's been a huge difference.
Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world because you don't have to pull it to hit it out of the ballpark here. Edwin Encarnacion knows all about that. Edwin has 31 home runs for the season. 3-0 count to Donaldson. Travis with the leadoff singles at first. Donaldson had the green light. Pops it up. Long run for Souza, the right fielder. He gets there and misses it. Kicked right off of his glove. He had a long run, but he got to it. But you know what it's like running that far and how that ball starts to bounce on you.
That ball's bouncing on you, and I'm sure that happened to him. Souza, usually a sure-handed outfielder, came a long way. Like you said, that ball was up there a long time. He just whiffed on it.
I think he blocked his eyes. Watch where the glove goes. It goes right in front of his eyes, and he missed it. Kicked off his glove. It's an error on Souza, his second error of the season. Donaldson with life fouls it into the seats. Now it's a full count.
Second chances. Got to take advantage of it. Should have been out.
Blue Jays might start to run it right here. They have been hard pressed to score runs. See if they can't get Travis in scoring position for Encarnacion. Not running. Base hit to right. Donaldson just took that outside pitch and stroked it past Forsythe into right field. So the Blue Jays did what the Rays did to start the inning. They get back-to-back hits in the bottom of the first.
Josh Donaldson gets a second chance, and he takes advantage of it. Takes that fastball the other way. He's been starting to wear out right field. Pitchers have started to pitch him away. He's been able to hit that ball over there. Got to take advantage of those extra outs that they give you, and so far, so good.
Edwin Encarnacion with 299 career home runs. Trying to become the 11th Dominican-born player with 300 or more home runs. Jose Bautista, his teammate, is next on that list at 301. Travis at second, Donaldson at first, nobody out. Curveball for a strike.
He's got a good one. He has only given up one hit all season long on that curveball. Surprised a little bit that he showed it to him early in the count. That might be his go-to pitch to strike him out, but he showed it to him already.
Home run cut. Edwin fouled it straight back. Kevin Pillar is on the disabled list. He has not been joined on that DL by Jose Bautista, who was placed on the disabled list today with a knee injury. Junior Lake reportedly on his way here from Buffalo. Encarnacion called out on strikes. Breaking ball gets him.
Opponents are batting .033 with 18 strikeouts that end in a curveball from this guy. So this scouting report's going to go around the league very quickly. That's a Barry Zito type of curveball. If you remember the lefty for Oakland and San Francisco, can't give up on it.
Russell Martin takes a first pitch strike. He's not so sure about that. That's frustrating when you're facing a pitcher for the first time and you get a borderline strike called against you. Travis gets back to second after Snell jumped off the mound with that inside spin. No score. We're in the bottom of the first. Kevin Travis with the leadoff single. Donaldson with a single to right. Martin tried to check his swing and went around, according to the first base umpire, Alfonso Marquez. Tampa Bay stranded a pair of base runners in the top half of the inning. Blue Jays want to cash in. Martin hits it into center. Kiermaier is there, and Travis has to hold it second. 2 down.
Well, let's take a look at the scouting report for the starter tonight. Blake Snell. He's got a losing record, but an outstanding earned run average. He's got 4 very good pitches that he can throw at any time. That has been the difference between him in the minor leagues when he first started and now. Fastball 93. It's one of the hardest and highest average fastball velocity-wise by a left-handed starter this season. He's got a changeup. There's the curveball. He throws it 75 miles an hour. There's a big difference between the fastball velocity and the curveball velocity that helps him to get a lot of those strikeouts. Again, he's their #1 prospect. In fact, he was the minor league player of the year in 2015. They finally got him up here to the big leagues, and just like all the other great pitchers that they have developed in the minor leagues, here's another one.
Troy Tulowitzki, the Blue Jays shortstop, batting with 2 outs. First pitch is a ball. Tulowitzki 1 for 4 in the game last night. He singled and scored in the 5th. A good breaking ball. That breaking ball was taught to him by Dick Bosman, the minor league pitching coordinator, who was a very fine pitcher in his own right in his playing days. Then he became a pitching coach, a very successful pitching coach. Now he's the pitching coordinator for Tampa Bay, and he's had a lot of success.
He's had a lot of success developing young players, and they really take those young players and develop them in the minor leagues. Until they can control the fastball and control the changeup and control the curveball, they are not coming to the big leagues. So Jim Hickey can finish off the development year after year. There's Chris Archer. They seem to develop those young players. The key to their success is they've left them in the minor leagues and let them develop.
Tulowitzki hits it left field line. It's got a chance and gone! 3-run home run for Tulowitzki, his 19th of the season. What a turnaround in this inning. The Rays stranded a pair. Tulowitzki takes care of that with a 3-run home run.
They should have been out of the inning also if they catch that ball in right field. That would have been 3 outs, but they give the Blue Jays an extra swing, and Tulo takes advantage of it. That was a line drive. Wasn't real sure if it was going to be high enough to get over the wall in left field. Look at the smiles on the faces of the Blue Jays.
Another thing that does is that snaps that long streak of solo home runs. This is the first home run with men on base after 17 straight solo home runs, and a big 3-run home run for the Blue Jays shortstop. Josh Donaldson was the last Blue Jay to hit a home run with a man aboard until this swing from Tulowitzki.
Throw me up a crooked number. Look at this line drive just over the wall down the left field line. Oh, that's a thing of beauty. 3-run homer.
Everybody can take a deep breath now. I tell you what, you got to give Jay Happ a lot of credit. He struck out Mikey Matuk to get out of the first inning. Happ did a terrific job to strand a pair of base runners, and then he said, over to you. Devin Travis got it started. Donaldson singled, and then Tulowitzki with the capper. This is Melvin Upton Jr. Upton, longtime Tampa Bay Ray, 8 years playing for the Rays. 3-1 count. Fouls it straight back. Now it's a full count.
Well, that was a good pitch to hit. That was a fastball right down Broadway. Getting closer. Fouling that thing straight back. He's had 16 home runs this year. All of those with San Diego.
Another foul out of play. Well, the Blue Jays have lost their starting center fielder. Now they lose their starting right fielder, but they've got enough bats in the lineup to make up for the loss. And Troy Tulowitzki with a 3-run home run. He's now driven in 56 for the season. High curveball, and Upton takes ball 4. Well, the Blue Jays have been tough on starting pitchers all season long in the first inning. They're among the best at scoring in the first inning in all of baseball.
It's going to bring Jim Hickey out to give his young starter a little bit of a blow. He's thrown 25 pitches already. So you get out there. You've heard him talk about stressful innings. The Blue Jays have put stressful innings on those pitchers in the first inning. It seems like every single game this year.
Blue Jays have now scored 84 runs in the first inning. Only the Nationals have scored more. The Nats have scored 88. Boston has scored 80 runs in the first inning, but Troy Tulowitzki, with one swing of the bat, made it a 3-0 ball game.
With each one of these at-bats for the Blue Jays, they're getting a chance to see the offerings Blake Snell, what that curveball looks like, what he was going to throw in certain situations. The more information you have, the better chance you have of hitting.
Upton at first with a big lead, and they're going to check on him. I'm sure Jim Hickey included Melvin Upton in his report to the mound, saying, you know what, you got to keep him close. He's got 20 stolen bases.
He hasn't had a stolen base attempt for the Blue Jays.
Hasn't been on base much. Michael Saunders with 2 outs. There goes Upton. He got a good jump throw from Maley, not nearly in time. Stolen base number 1 as a Blue Jay, 21st on the season for Upton, and he's in scoring position.
He had the little throw over on the first pitch, and then he goes on first movement. Raises the leg. It's a slide step from Snell, and you can see no chance to get Upton. Steals that one easily.
Saunders behind 0-2. Michael Saunders is the 7th Blue Jay to bat in the opening inning. And Upton's picked up his 2nd steal. He picked their pocket. Everybody dropped their head.
That's veteran experience right there. He knows that the Rays infield is in the shift. Longoria and Beckham on the left side of the infield. Look at him looking down at their glove. And he just picks the pocket of the Rays. They're away from third base. Everybody's got their head down. He says, thank you. I'll take it.
Well, now, wild pitch. Ball gets away from the catcher. Upton's just 90 feet away. It's a foot race. He's looking at Longoria. And he figures, I can beat Longoria to the bag. And they've got no chance, and they didn't make a throw.
It's a heads-up play right there.
Speed's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Speed and experience. That one he stole on the whole infield. Well, if he bounces one of those curveballs here, that thing doesn't have to leave the home plate area. With his speed and the lead he can get at third base, with the left-hander up, he might be able to steal a run all by himself.
Curveball looked like it just barely missed hitting the bag, and Saunders looking at the first base bag as if to say, did that hit that base? Took kind of an odd hop. Remember, this inning doesn't happen if Josh Donaldson's pop foul was caught by Steven Souza Jr. down the right field line. Souza was charged with an error on the play. He ran from deep right center, had a long run, but got there, and the ball hit off his glove for an error, and Donaldson had life and got a base hit.
Next 2 guys made outs for the Blue Jays, so you're right. No runs come across.
Saunders strikes out. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Snell, but the Blue Jays, a long time they've been waiting for a multiple run home run. After the Souza error, Donaldson got a base hit, and then Tulowitzki cashes in 3 with his 19th home run of the season.
The second time this year, Jose Bautista has found himself on the DL after a bit of a freakish injury. Go back to last night, Bautista trying to field the ball. He got his cleat caught in the turf, turned his ankle a little bit awkwardly, and then fell on his knee. Ended up suffering a sprained left knee. He said he wasn't sure if he hurt the knee on the, being caught on the turf or when he landed on it. He says that he woke up this morning and he was in a great deal of pain. It was all swollen up. It kind of got worse during the game last night, but he was able to play through it. So he's going to be out for at least the next 2 weeks. He's going to go back to Tampa, get some rehab done. He's really hoping that he's only going to have to miss 2 weeks. But guys, this is a really tough blow for a team that has already lost Kevin Pillar. Junior Lake has been called up. We're still waiting for him to arrive. Daryl Siciliani's going to end up seeing a lot of time against right-handed pitching. So the Jays once again find themselves without one of their best hitters.
No question about it, Barry. It's an unfortunate injury for Jose and for the Blue Jays. A tough bat to replace, and all you can do is hope that maybe two guys can pick up the slack in right field if you use a platoon out there. So here is Steven Souza Jr. He factored into the Blue Jays 3-run inning when he dropped that ball in foul ground. 3-0 Blue Jays. Been a long time since we've said that.
With one swing of the bat. Couple of weeks.
It's a false first home run. It wasn't a solo home run since July 20th. Josh Donaldson had a 2-run home run on that date, and then Troy Tulowitzki's 3-run shot here in the first.
Talked to Russell Martin today, and I asked him what has been the secret to Jay Happ's success this year, and he was saying, you know what, he's been jumping ahead a lot of hitters with that fastball. I've been able to use it down in the strike zone. I've been using it up in the strike zone. I've been able to use it inside and then to turn the ball over. Still the best pitch in baseball, isn't it?
No question about it. You take a fastball and you command it early in the at-bat, make good pitches to the corners, and then you can elevate it. Trying to do that here.
Yeah, that's the four-seam fastball that he has that can ride up around letter high. That batters just don't seem to be able to see or catch up to. Or just haven't been able to do much with that four-seam fastball up in the strike zone. You can cut the ball in on him if you want, and then you can turn it over. It's just been fastball command has been the key to him.
2-2 pitch. Fastball just missed. Well, Jay has really changed his tempo while he's pitching. He's picked it up a lot. He doesn't think quite as much as he did, ponder whether or not it was the right pitch. Pretty much follows his catcher. Off the plate, a leadoff walk issued by Jay Happ. Well, Jay comes into this game 15-3 on the season, and when you look at his last 10 starts, you can see why he's had such a great season. 9-0 over his last 10 starts, and look at the numbers, Pat. ERA, opponent's batting average, and whip. Right exactly where you want him.
Totally dominating the opposition. 249 earned run average, 9-0. The only other pitchers, Toronto pitchers to go 9-0 over a 10-start period is Roger Clemens and Roy Halladay. Clemens did that at 97, and Doc did his in 2003. Go ahead and put Jay Happ in that group also. Last time out, 6 innings, 1 earned run. That was at Houston.
Tim Beckham, the shortstop. 0-2. Another big difference for Happ this season is his ability to get double plays. They've turned 17 double plays with Happ on the mound. That's the most he's had turned behind him in his big league career. Fastball movement has a lot to do with that.
Thought he had one in the first inning. First and second, a ground ball that was mishandled, but they got an out on it. Turning that ball over to right-handers will get you a lot of ground balls.
There's another elevated fastball for a strikeout. 2 strikeouts for Happ now. He gets Beckham.
It's a pitch that looks so inviting if you're at the plate. That four-seam fastball about letter high. Look where that one is. That's where you want to throw it, right along the letters where it says Rays right there. It looks so inviting, like you could hit it out of the ballpark, but we've seen hitter after hitter come up empty against J. Happ.
This is Richie Schaefer, playing in just his third game. He only has 3 at-bats this season. Schaefer is the DH tonight with Happ on the mound.
Going with a 3-man bench. The Tampa Bay Rays. They got a backup infielder and a backup outfielder, along with a backup catcher on the bench. Let them go with a couple of extra pitchers. Richie Schaefer just got called up from the minor leagues.
Schaefer is 25 years old. He was a first-round pick in 2012. Happ misses with that pitch away. This is just his 5th professional season.
Had a couple of stints with the Rays last year. Just got called up on August the 3rd.
Schaefer played at Clemson University. Line drive, base hit into center. Souza stops at second.
Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Proud partners of the Toronto Blue Jays. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Beautiful evening in Toronto, a little bit warm, so it's not a bad idea to spend some time on Lake Ontario, cool off a little bit. Another good crowd here at Rogers Center tonight. They've had back-to-back crowds of 43,000 in first 2 games in this series. This is the catcher, Luke Maile. He had a 2-hit game last night, also walked, finished up 2 for 4 in the game with a run scored. He's playing in his 18th game.
What is it with the Rays? I mean, they come against the Blue Jays and have great at-bats. Take pitches, have good swings. It has been a grind ever since the season started playing against these guys.
Logan Forsythe and Kevin Kiermaier, they both have hits already tonight. Evan Longoria, he's always been a thorn in the Blue Jays' side. Ball in the strike, hit in the air to right. That ball is going to drop on the warning track and bounce out of play. The Rays against the Blue Jays batting .284 as a team coming into this game. They have averaged 5.42 runs per game. Of course, they swept the Blue Jays back in May at a series here in a 3-game series, outscoring the Blue Jays 31-7.
Set a club record for runs in a 3-game series.
Off the plate, 2-2 now to the number 9 hitter, Luke Maile.
He was hitless before that game yesterday. He was 0 for 10 in his prior 4 games. Comes up against the Blue Jays, has a multi-hit game.
Maile strikes out. Boy, that strikeout pitch, another important weapon for J. Happ tonight early on. 3 strikeouts so far.
He had a multi-hit game yesterday, his 4th one of his career. All 4 of them against the Blue Jays. This time he comes up empty on that high fastball.
Two outs. Logan Forsythe. Got to figure out a way to get him out. He singled in his first at bat into left field. His 7th hit of this 3-game series. He's now 7 for 11.
He's showing off some power too. 3 home runs in his last 4 games. And a nice little short stroke. Not a lot of movement at the plate.
Well, he's certainly hitting with a lot of confidence against the Blue Jays, and that's half the battle. He had 3 hits, including a leadoff home run last night. And he also homered in a 3-hit game on Monday. He's the first player in franchise history to have 3 hits, including a home run, in back-to-back games. That includes some pretty good hitters over the years. Go back to Carl Crawford and Carlos Pena. A lot of good hitters that logged some pretty good seasons.
Out of the leadoff spot, you know, that's saying something.
There's only one other player to accomplish that feat in consecutive games while batting first for his team, Jose Altuve. Fly ball to right. Saunders back. He's got room. Makes the catch on the warning track. Forsythe is retired. Tampa Bay has left 4 early in this ball game.
For our next Friday Fan Festival presented by Bacardi. Before the game, you can see a DJ showcase featuring Jed Harper, DJ Deluxe, and your boy Brian. The patio will open at 5:30, and then we'll have Blue Jays baseball for you as the Houston Astros pay a visit. You can go to bluejays.com for more details. Guys, one of the more surprising stats, it's hard to lose a guy like Jose Bautista, but when he missed 30 games earlier in the year, they did manage to go 17-13 without him.
Yeah, they sure did, and they got some fine work from Ezekiel Carrera at that point. Carrera is going to go on a rehab assignment on Friday, play 3 games in AAA, and then rejoin the Blue Jays. He's not eligible until Tuesday. That'll take place in New York. But, Pat, he's been out working early. We've seen him every day on this homestand out getting ready to be activated. He'll probably go down and play on Friday, as we mentioned.
You know what was encouraging is he's had the Achilles problem in his foot. He was running the bases.
Smoke hits the grounder. Beckham at short, throws the first one down.
He was also out throwing in the outfield today with Kevin Pillar, and I was watching him move around in the outfield, and that was really encouraging. Didn't look like he was hampered at all by that injury to his leg, so he'll go down to Buffalo for a few days. Get some at-bats. He's eligible, like you said, Buck, to come off the disabled list on Tuesday.
So the Blue Jays are just going to have to suck it up. People are going to have to pick up the slack for losing Kevin Pillar and Jose Bautista. Darwin Barney playing in left field, his 4th start in left this season. Darwin's hit a little bit of a rough patch. He's hit just .098 in his last 19 games.
I was watching him in batting practice today, and his first round did not hit a ball left of the pitcher. If you're standing at the plate, everything was going to right field. Just trying to stay on the ball, try to get that right field swing back. That's where a lot of his hits came early in the season. to right field. He must have hit 10 straight balls between the first baseman and the second baseman in batting practice today.
Off-speed pitch, and Barney swings and misses. It's 2 balls and a strike. Number 9 hitter Devin Travis is on deck. 3-0 Blue Jays. Got another changeup.
Yeah, he's got all the pitches. Jim Hickey, their pitching coach, was telling me the other day that he said this guy's legit. All he needs is a little of experience, know the league just a little bit more. He thinks he can be another big winner.
There's a shot to right. That's a fair ball. Off the wall. Souza plays the hop. Here's the throw to second. And Pat, what a great job of scouting you did. Darwin Barney shoots it to right for a double.
Just paying attention, watching him. You know, we showed the stat that he had been struggling just a little bit offensively. So you go back to the basics, you get into that cage, and you start working on something, and he's working on hitting the ball the other way, and wouldn't you know it, doubles down the right field line at his first at bat tonight. Slices it off the wall. Good piece of hitting right there.
A 1-out double. Back to the top of the order, Devin Travis. He singled his first time up, scored on the Tulowitzki home run.
That single by Travis, his first time up, that extended his hitting streak to 7 games. It's a great swing if you're a student of hitting, especially right-handed hitters. He hits from a closed stance. He keeps that front shoulder in. He's thinking up the middle or the other way, and if you make a mistake, you can pull the ball to left field. No problem.
2-0, stays on that pitch and hits it into the seats. And this is the 14th game for Travis in the leadoff spot. He got off to a tough start. His first 16 games, he had just 150, but Patty's turned it around. His last 43 games, he's been swinging a hot bat.
The timing wasn't there over his first 16 games. Remember, he was just coming back from the disabled list, and they had to recall him from his rehab assignment a little bit early. The timing wasn't there. It's there now. Just watch how he takes pitches.
Yeah, they cut short his rehab assignment because Troy Tulowitzki was injured and they needed him in the big league, so he didn't have that full 20 games of rehab. So it took him some time in the majors, but he is caught up. Batting .306. Base hit to right. Barney's being waved around third. Souza will throw to second. Devin Travis is 2 for 2, and the Blue Jays have a 4-0 lead.
He extended his hitting streak to 7 games in the first inning, and he will pick up his 34th RBI in the second inning. Had a 4-hit game the other day. He's on his way there once again. How about that the other way? The second baseman playing behind the pitcher, that's a mystery with 2 strikes and this guy at the plate.
Yeah, it sure is. They're certainly not playing against his strengths, and what a big hit for Darwin Barney. 1-out double. He comes around to score the 4th Blue Jay run. Josh Donaldson. He singled in the first.
Picking on that right field. A couple more hits to right field this inning. A lot of hits over there.
Darwin Barney was expressing the fact he got a hit. Hey, I can hit again. You and I both know that feeling.
Yeah, I think he was expecting some high fives from his teammates that he found the hit.
He probably told somebody to get the ball.
There's the stroke right there that he was working on today.
Ball and a strike to Donaldson. Blue Jays with 4 runs on 5 hits. Blue Jays will have an off day tomorrow before they welcome in the Houston Astros. Blue Jays took 3 of 4 from Houston down at Minute Maid Park on their last road trip.
They're going to be a different team when we see them next, aren't they? A couple of roster moves.
Kobe Rasmus has gone on the disabled list. And they brought up a young player, Tony Kemp.
They released Carlos Gomez today. DFA'd him.
Outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Donaldson. Josh has had another MVP caliber season, and it's been a frustrating season for the second-year manager Kevin Cash. Tampa Bay with just 46 wins. They are 20 games under 500. Bounced in the dirt. Travis holds it first. Full count. Similar situation in the first inning. Travis did not run on a 3-2 pitch and stayed put. Encarnacion struck out.
I think they want to try and guarantee that Encarnacion comes to the plate. Looks like he's going to throw him a changeup.
Little tapper out in front of home. The throw to second is strong and on time. They get the lead runner with the force out. Now there are 2 down.
Super Slow-Mo Cam. Brought to you by Rogers 4K TV. Get closer to the action with 4 times the resolution of HD alone.
Edwin Encarnacion was caught looking at strike 3. He's now got him with a curveball. Now misses outside.
"50 pitches already for the young left-hander."
Blue Jays will do that.
Yeah, 31 of them in the first inning.
Two balls and no strikes.
See if he challenges him. 2-0. Or pitch around him and take your chances with Russell Martin on deck. Outfield is deep, and I mean deep, and pulled around the left field. Look at where Mikey Matuk is playing. The left fielder almost on the warning track.
Fastball might have been ball 3. 2-1 now to Encarnacion. Edwin is the DH tonight. Jim Hickey keeping a close eye on his young left-hander, Snell, just 23 years old. Popped up over near the seats. Miller is there and leans in and just off his glove. Not sure if he could have done much more than he did. He got to the wall and leaned in. They couldn't make the catch.
Yeah, went right off of his glove. He does the right thing. Watch him get right to the wall and reach as far as he can right off the webbing. Blue Jays get another chance. Edwin gets another swing.
Donaldson had another swing in the first, and he got a base hit. There's a balk. Snell started into his set position and then stopped. He and Maley were going through the signs, and the youngster started up, and the umpire behind home plate, then Fagan, calls him for the balk. Watch the pitcher.
Leading in for his sign. There it was right there. Everybody was getting set, and it looked like he was going to try and come to a set position and then went back.
Three and two, 2 outs. Blue Jays scored 3 in the first. They've scored 1 here in the second. Have a 4-0 lead. They have made the youngster work. Encarnacion takes ball 4. Second walk issued by Snell. He didn't want to throw anything too good to Encarnacion, and you can't blame him. And a base open.
And that'll bring Jim Hickey back out. Again, a long inning for his young starter. Try to give him a little bit of a blow. He was drafted 52nd overall by Tampa Bay in 2011. That was a supplemental pick made possible by the departure of free agent Brad Hopp. Remember Brad Hopp? Let him go. They used that pick to draft a youngster. That's what you have to do, I think, if you're going to sustain greatness and have your team constantly win year after year after year. You have to replace veteran players with young talent. Tampa Bay has done that.
Well, and Tampa Bay, they had such a great run, and Evan Longoria recently expressed his frustration with the way the team is going lately. Longoria's in his 9th season. When he first came up, they went to the postseason 4 of his first 6 years. And then they started showing too much concern about money. Of course, they don't have a big fan base. They don't draw well at all. They're always near the bottom in attendance, but they're not spending much money.
You know what they did also? They used to make great baseball decisions. I'm not saying they haven't, but when Evan first came up, their baseball decisions were great. I mean, they were picking guys up from other organizations and making trades and signing guys and drafting guys. All their baseball decisions seemed to work out.
Russell Martin, he flied out to center field his first time up.
Yeah, but Evan was saying, hey, I want to win.
Yeah.
I'm 31 years old, and I've seen all my friends go to these other organizations and get themselves into these playoff atmospheres and getting into the postseason. I want to do that.
J.P. Howes with the Dodgers. Matt Moore just was traded to the Giants, and he said, you know what, we can't continue to just bring in prospects. We've got to develop a core, stick with them, and we got to win soon.
Brandon Geyer just got traded to the Indians. He's going to be in that pennant race for the Tribe.
2-1 to Martin. Now it's 3-1. The Tampa Bay Rays opening day salary was $56.6 million, and right now it's around 40. As they made some trades, got rid of some veteran players. And it's tough to exist in the AL East when you're only spending $40 million.
They've done a great job over the years with their young players.
3-1. High ball 4. Back-to-back walks here in the second, and the Blue Jays have the youngster on the ropes. The growing pains of a young pitcher. Jim Hickey talking with the manager, and they're going to make a call down to the bullpen. For Blake Snell, this is his 5th start on the road. He's pitched well, holding the opponents to a 185 earned run average and a 198 batting average pitching on the road. But tonight, a different story.
Before that home run by Tulowitzki, he had only given up 2 all year long.
Tulowitzki bounces the first pitch foul. The Blue Jays need to bust it wide open here. They need a laugher. You can see Tulowitzki has really come through with the bases loaded. Just off the plate inside. The Blue Jays have seen a lot of pitches now. Dylan Floro, right-hander. He pitched in game 1 of this series and didn't fare very well. The bullpen has been a real weak spot for this ball club.
You know, that's the thing. If you can't show command early, if you're a young pitcher, those close ones, those borderline pitches, you're not going to get them. Blue Jays did a good job this inning just to lay off those borderline pitches.
Foul down the right side, out of play. Tulowitzki has 12 career multi-home run games. He had 2 home runs in a game this season on April 23rd, right here against the A's. He's already got a 3-run shot in his pocket tonight. Full count, 2 outs, no place to put Tulowitzki. Donaldson's at third. He reached on a fielder's choice, then back-to-back walks to Encarnacion and Martin. Tulowitzki hit a 3-run home run in the first. The runners will be off on the pitch on this full count 2-out situation. '96 foul back.
Got to go with your best pitch. Tulo hit a breaking ball out of the ballpark his first time up. Looks like he's challenging him with fastballs this time.
Tulowitzki with another good cut on the heater. Young pitcher against the veteran hitter. And Tulowitzki has already homered against Blake Snell. The Blue Jays have 2 grand slams this season. Donaldson has hit them both. Bases loaded walk. Tulowitzki picks up another RBI. 5-0 Blue Jays.
And that's probably going to be it. 3-2 changeup to Tulowitzki, and Kevin Cash is out of the dugout.
So Blake Snell roughed up in his first start against the Blue Jays. It'll be Dylan Floro into the ball game in the second. Is the right-hander Dylan Floro making his 11th appearance of the season. He appeared in the ball game on Monday night. And he got hit around a bit. His control was a problem. He came and walked the first batter he faced and eventually give up 2 runs on 2 hits in that inning.
Devin Travis talked about how he faced him in the minor leagues. He's got good movement on his fastball. Throws it out of a 3/4 arm slot. Very good command. He's going to be around the plate. You can see he's only walked 5 batters. Something that Blake Snell tonight has done all by himself. He's walked 4 in just an inning and 2/3.
So the bases remain loaded. Melvin Upton Jr. walked and picked up 2 stolen bases in the first. He stole second and then picked the pocket of the Rays. He stole third without a throw. Popped up on the infield. Miller, the first baseman, makes the catch, and Upton pops out. Blue Jays scored 2. Bottom of the second. They take a 5-0 lead and knock the young left-hander out of the game.
Phone and tablet with the MLB.com At Bat app. You can customize At Bat to feature the Blue Jays and stay up to the moment at any moment with scores, news, live game video highlights, and much more. Download MLB.com At Bat. It's the #1 app for live baseball. We head to the 3rd inning. Let's get you back to Buck and Pat.
Thank you very much, Barry. The Blue Jays trying to win this series. The teams have split the first 2 games, and the Blue Jays have a 5-0 lead behind Jay Happ. Pat, the complexion of this game changed in the top half of the first inning when Jay Happ got out of that first inning jam.
They had first and second, nobody out. Nobody out. And then got runners to second and third. Forsythe went home on that little nubber out front of the plate. He ended up getting out of that inning. And then the Blue Jays came right back and scored 3 on that 3-run home run by Tulowitzki. You're right. It changed. Now what the Blue Jays have to do from here on out is keep it that way. Don't want to even give him a thought of trying to get back into this game.
No. And Jay Happ does his part by throwing a first pitch strike to Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier dropped a bunt on the third base line his first time up. And because of that, Josh Donaldson was well in front of the baseline. Now with 2 strikes, he'll back up at third base. There you see Donaldson retreating to a normal position at third.
Boy, even a little ground ball to the infield, this guy's speed makes it interesting. So the infield has to shorten up.
There was a time when I first came into the game where guys like Kiermaier would use a big bat choke up about 4 inches on the bat and just try to slap the ball to the shortstop. You don't see that anymore. And you'll remember these old bats, the U1s and the 016s. They had big, thick handles and big barrels, and guys would choke up and just try to play pepper with the pitcher.
Yeah, slap it to the left side of the infield and use their great speed. And once they got on first base, what did they do?
They ran.
They ran.
Ralph Garr, Manny Mota, Matty Alou. Matty Alou was terrific at it. Where they just slap at that ball and take off for first. But everybody wants to hit home runs.
And that's okay. That's all right. You're not taking advantage of your greatest weapon, your speed. And that's, you know, that's a big part of the game.
Well, with a guy like Kiermaier early on, they would have said, hey, man, you can run 280. Just on your speed alone. Just utilizing that great weapon you have of your speed. And you and I both came up with a time when organizations would say, this is how you're going to hit. And if you're not going to hit like that, see you later.
Or go down the minor leagues
we're
and
gonna
learn.
Put you down in the minors. I had a pitcher, 1969, Tom Bergmeyer, had a long career as a relief pitcher. He was a great athlete. In Instructional League in 1969, the Royals sent him to Instructional League to hit because he could run. They were entertaining the thought of him playing in the outfield. Kiermaier gets his second hit. He pulls it through the right side into right.
Oh, it hurts about that right there. He had jumped ahead 2 strikes and then missed with 3 pitches, and then with a 5-run lead, you got to serve it in there. You don't want to walk him, so you throw that 4-seam fastball. And Kiermaier, Kevin, has hit so well against the Blue Jays in his young career.
Kiermaier has 17 hits against the Blue Jays this season. Only Manny Machado of the Orioles has more. Machado has 19 hits in 49 at-bats. Evan Longoria grounded out to second his first time up. It looked like it was going to be a double play ball, but the ball kicked up and Devin Travis could only get Longoria at first as he played it off his body. One count to the Rays third baseman in his 9th season with Tampa Bay. Of course, Evan Longoria and Troy Tulowitzki, they manned the left side of the infield at Long Beach State. How about that infield?
Take my chances with those guys on the left side.
Pop back.
Was it Longoria shortstop?
Yeah, and he moved because Tulowitzki came and played short. Then Longoria moved over to third. But boy, a couple of great players, and Long Beach State has produced some terrific players. Their coach at Long Beach State, Mike Weathers, was a terrific college coach and produced an awful lot of big league players. Ground ball, 1 hop. Donaldson to second for 1. Back to first. Nifty double play. Dug out by Smoke over at first. Acknowledged by Devin Travis for the good effort on his stretch.
Double play number 105 for the Blue Jays defense. That's tailor-made right there after the leadoff single by Kiermaier. 1 hopper right to the third baseman, and around the horn they go. To second, to first, finished off by the scoop by Smoke at first base.
18 double plays turned behind Jay Happ this season.
He was leading for a while in the American League. But Martin Perez and Mike Pelfrey have just taken off. They are the leaders in the AL turning double plays.
Well, and Jay Happ strikes out so many guys too. He's not going to have quite as many opportunities. Aaron Sanchez and Marcus Stroman, they both get a lot of ground balls as well. 1-2. perfect. Down and away. Look, cut fastball for the strikeout. Double play in the strikeout, and the Rays are retired quickly by half in the third. Here on Sportsnet 1, the Orioles are in Oakland to take on the Athletics. Chris Tillman will go to the mound against Andrew Triggs of the A's, and the A's have helped out the Blue Jays a lot. Baltimore lost 2-1 last night, and Baltimore will stay in the Bay Area, and they'll have a 3-game weekend series against the Giants, including facing Madison Bumgarner on Saturday.
How about that? A week in San Francisco in the Bay Area for the Orioles. 2 one-run games against the A's the last two nights in Oakland.
Michael Saunders takes a first pitch strike from Dylan Floro. Floro taking over for Blake Snell, who went just an inning and 2/3. He was charged with 5 runs, just 2 earned runs because of the Souza error in the first. Those 3 runs scored on the Tulowitzki home run, all unearned runs. Floro did not face Saunders on Monday in his relief appearance. He came into the ball game in the 7th inning after Xavier Cedeno walked the 2 first batters of that inning, Saunders and Tulowitzki, and then Floro walked Russell Martin to load the bases.
And thought he was out of it as Saunders strikes out. He got Upton and he got Smoke, but Devin Travis came up with the clutch base hit right back through the middle. This time he strikes out Michael Saunders. He's got great movement on his pitches. That time Michael couldn't hold up. Second time that he has struck out tonight.
Junior Lake has shown up, just introducing himself again. I'm back. Just called up from AAA Buffalo.
He's got some new teammates he has to introduce himself to. First one right there was Liriano.
Liriano wasn't here when he was last with the Blue Jays. Junior Lake, this is his second stint. He was up on July 24th. He was DFA'd on the 31st of. Actually, he was outratted on the 31st. He was designated by the Blue Jays on the 25th of July. They actually drove in 3 runs for Buffalo last night.
They were just home, so it was a short drive over from Buffalo. Blue Jays made the decision right before the game to put Jose Bautista on the disabled list, and with their AAA team right down the road, they're able to get him here in time for the game tonight.
Smoke strikes out, 2 outs, and today we received some sad news as Ajax native John Saunders passed away at the age of 61. He went to Ryerson University, became a broadcaster while in Canada, and then of course developed into an outstanding broadcaster working for ESPN. But a sad piece of news today as the sports world loses one of the great gentlemen of the game, John Saunders.
Did not know him personally, but everybody I spoke with and everything I read today said he was a wonderful man.
I got a chance to work with John at ESPN, of course, and he was highly regarded for his ability as a broadcaster and for being such a class act. It's a sad day for everybody in the sports broadcasting world. 1-1 count to Darwin Barney. Bouncing ball. Big hop for Beckham at short. Well, Brad Miller just getting used to playing first base. His 3rd big league game at first. A little bobble, and it allows Barney to reach, and that'll turn the lineup over.
There are little nuances to playing the position. You know, it's not one of those things where you say, okay, just go over there and just play first base. That's one of them. That sinking throw from the shortstop. Beckham could have helped him out by throwing a better ball, but this one was sinking, and it looked like it was in between. Is that ball going to bounce, or is it going to be on the fly? That time it was on the fly, so he will pick up the error.
He really was kind of tentative on his stretch as well. Didn't get out there to receive that ball and try to pick it right off the dirt. Blue Jays took advantage of a Tampa Bay error in the 1st inning. Let's see if they can do it here in the 3rd with 2 outs. They got the right man at the plate. Devin Travis is 2 for 2 already. Again, the defense is set up and gives Devin Travis a gaping hole between 1st and 2nd.
And the right fielder seems awfully shallow. Devin's got some pop. He had 4 hits the other night. In one of the outs he made, Buck, he sent the right fielder to the wall up against the fence.
He's got 25 extra base hits, 10 home runs, 14 doubles, and a triple.
Doesn't even have 240 at bats yet this year.
3-0. There's a strike. Now 3-1 to the leadoff man, Devin Travis. Josh Donaldson has been on base twice. He singled in the 1st, reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd, and scored twice. Well, maybe they were right. Logan Forsythe, standing right in his tracks, makes a catch on the line drive. We'll go to the 4th, 5-0 Blue Jays, and here comes the ultimate cleanup crew. Brought to you by Home Hardware's exclusive line of the ultimate hard-hitting and tough-on-grime cleaning products.
Center, and a great night to be sitting in those big comfy green chairs in the TV comfort zone. Tonight we welcome guests of TD, and fans, if you would like to be a guest of WestJet and watch a Blue Jays game live from the flight deck, here's how you do it. All you have to do is find the WestJet fan wagon in Toronto, and you could be next. Follow hashtag WestJet FanWagon on Twitter for details, and it is always a fun time in the WestJet flight deck. You guys got to put me out there a little more often, I think.
Just walk right out there and make yourself at home, Barry. They'd love to have you, I'm sure, and it's a happening place here at Rogers Center. It always fills up quickly as soon as they open up the gates here. I think we should do a broadcast from out there.
We sat out there for a playoff game last year. Remember that?
We weren't working though.
Yeah, we were just enjoying the scenery.
We were eating. Top of the fourth inning, the Blue Jays have a 5-0 lead behind J-Happ. Mikey Matuk hits it into center field. Melvin Upton Jr. cruises over and makes the catch. What a season J-Happ has had. He has won a career-high 15 games. Rick Porcello last night beat the Yankees for his 15th win. Chris Tillman pitches tomorrow afternoon. You could see that game on Sportsnet 1. Chris Sale got up to a great start. He's kind of sputtered lately, but he still has 14 wins. But J-Happ and Porcello top of the heap, and Happ can become the first 16-game winner in the majors with a W tonight.
Yeah, every time he wins a game, he sets a new career high. This is the time of year where they start talking about, the discussion starts to turn to the Cy Young, and the conversation starts, I think, with J-Happ and the guys that we just showed you right there. Tillman, Sale, Rick Porcello's having an outstanding year. Justin Verlander, here comes Verlander doing his thing. Cole Hamels. Wouldn't that be something?
Well, Blue Jays have a couple of guys that have been in the conversation already. J-Happ and Aaron Sanchez, and they have talked about them as possible Cy Young candidates. Breaking ball, a little tapper, back to Happ. Justin Verlander was the AL Pitcher of the Month for July. He's really coming on strong, and we showed you this earlier. The Cy Young contenders early on. J-Happ at 15-3. Cole Hamels 12-3. Zach Britton of the Orioles has had a fabulous season closing out games, and Aaron Sanchez 11-2.
Has he blown a save yet? I don't think he's blown a save yet, Zach Britton. He's been great. So Sanchez and Happ, they're going to bookend what we were just showing you there, but you got to throw Justin Verlander in there, Rick Porcello, Chris Sale. And always this time of the year they start talking about that, but there's so much baseball to be played.
Verlander went 4-0 in the month of July. He claimed his 5th career American League Pitcher of the Month award, first since September of 2012. He's back.
Jay went undefeated in July also. He was 4-0 in the month of July, a 148 earned run average. That was the lowest mark by any AL starter in July. Sanchez was second at 159.
Tim Beckham behind 0-2. Gets a piece of it to stay alive. J-Happ signed very quickly after declaring free agency. About 3 weeks after he declared, he signed with the Blue Jays. At the time, Mark Shapiro was the president. Tony LaCava was the one that initiated the contact, and would be a big part of the signing of J-Happ. The appeal down to Marquez. He says no swing, the first base ump. So Tony LaCava is the one that reached out to Happ, made contact, and of course Mark Shapiro was here in place, and Ross Atkins hadn't been hired yet when they signed J-Happ.
Still going through the process, and remember, everybody was saying, J-Happ, what are we signing J-Happ for? They're not saying that now.
J-Happ has expressed his comfort level for pitching for this ball club. He knows the team. He knows the city. Has a great relationship with the manager and the pitching coach. And boy, it has been beneficial for both the team and the hat. Beckham strikes out. The Rays go down in order in the top of the fourth. When we come back, it'll be Josh Donaldson. He's scored a pair of runs already at Cardinals with 299 career home runs. And Russell Martin. The Blue Jays lead it 5-0.
Five great high-five deals from Rogers, including offers on phones, tablets, data, and more on select 2-year share everything plans. Hurry into a Rogers store today. Guys, where has the summer gone? We're already talking about back to school.
Absolutely. We are just about in the middle of August, and before you know it, the kids will be back in school. But you can bet the fans will still come out. Rogers Center has been the place to be all summer long. The Blue Jays have a shot at 3.3 million fans for the season. It will be an incredible number. It's been a long time since they've broken 3 million fans in a season.
That's the 90s, I think I read that somewhere. Mid-90s was the last time.
93, I would assume. Donaldson tried to check his swing.
Called a swing by the home plate umpire. Flora was a starter in the minor leagues, so he can stretch out and give you multiple innings out of that bullpen tonight.
2 balls and 2 strikes now to Donaldson. Off the end of the bat. Bouncing ball to short. Beckham to Miller.
We've been there from the start. Honda, official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays. Proud fan since 1977.
Beautiful skyline of Toronto. CN Tower standing guard over Rogers Center right next door. The last time the Blue Jays drew 3 million fans, they actually drew 4 million. That was 1993. In 1994, the season was cut short. They drew 2.9 million. The 94 season was cut short. There was no postseason that year. So it's been a while.
They stopped in August, right? So that was a shoo-in for them to go over 3 million.
Blue Jays are first in the American League in attendance this year. They're averaging 40,498. 2.348903 for the season.
And it's fun. When you come down here, you have a lot of fun. Blue Jays do a great job of opening up the gates and bringing people down on the field. You can do some tours. You can sit out in that WestJet flight deck and watch the game.
Encarnacion strikes out. 2 up, 2 down, and the greatest marketing tool in the world is a winning record. You look at the Blue Jays record. You see what they have done in their last 32 games coming into this game tonight since July 2nd. The best record in baseball, 21-11. Twins have 21 wins, but they have 13 losses.
Right after that Canada Day marathon, Blue Jays have the best record in baseball.
19 innings of 2-1 baseball. They lost on a Santana home run thrown by Darwin Barney. Barney picked up the loss. Russell Martin walked his last time up. Blue Jays have 5 runs. They've only had 5 hits. Big blow in the game. A Troy Tulowitzki 3-run home run in the first.
Those 3 runs unearned because of the error in the outfield. Blue Jays take it. They have not been hitting. They have not been hitting consistently. They have not been able to get runners on base consistently. So they'll take anything.
Martin hits it high and deep to right. Sue's on the track at the wall and can't make the play. Martin will stop at second with a long double off the wall in right. Souza got to the wall at the same time the ball arrived. I'm not sure if he got a glove on it, but he couldn't make the play, and Martin ends up with a 2-out double.
Yeah, it looked like he had a beat on that ball. Russell sends it the other way with authority. Looks like he had a shot at it, gets to the wall, and just missed it. That's a lot like the ball that he missed in the first inning off of Josh Donaldson. He checks the wall one more time, goes to jump for it, and misses it. Blue Jays will take that for sure.
Kind of short-armed it. He wasn't sure where he was in relationship to the wall, and that was a catchable ball that he didn't make the play on. Martin ends up at second with the double, his 12th double of the season. Now Troy Tulowitzki, he's already driven in 3 tonight. A 3-run homer and a bases loaded, 4. A 3-run homer and a bases loaded walk. Tulowitzki had a 4 RBI game on July 3rd against Cleveland in that 17-1 win.
Got that RBI total up to 57. Tampa Bay goes from here. They have an off day in New York, and they get to face the Yankees on Friday. You know what Friday is.
The final game for Alex Rodriguez. Tulowitzki called out on strikes. The Blue Jays leave a runner in scoring position. We go to the 5th 5-0 Blue Jays. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Samsung broadcast studio.
A spot to play on field at a Blue Jays fan camp in September. Visit participating Boston Pizza locations and enter when purchasing any Budweiser and burger combo. Go to bluejays.com/BudBP contest for details and rules. We head now to the 5th inning, and it's back to Buck Martinez and Pat Tabler.
Thank you very much, Barry Davis. Another great crowd on hand, and the Blue Jays doing their part to entertain them. They have a 5-0 lead. Jay Happ shutting out the Rays on 4 hits. Richie Schaefer, the DH, had a base hit to center field back in the 2nd inning.
He was their minor league player of the year last year. They had Blake Snell. He was the pitcher of the year. He was the player of the year. 26 home runs as a minor leaguer last year. Got some pop in that bat. He showed that off in his first at bat with that single to center.
This is a fly ball into shallow right field. Travis backing out into the outfield makes the play right in front of Michael Saunders. 1 away. Saunders is playing just the 2nd time in right field. He's made 90 starts in left field, but Jose Bautista injured himself last night. He's been placed on the disabled list. So Darwin Barney, more comfortable on the left side of the field, is playing in left field. Junior Lake has joined the ball club mid-game. He wasn't here before the start of the game. Barney gets to start in left, and Saunders moves over to right.
And it looks like the Blue Jays are going to run a platoon out there in right field with Jose on the disabled list.
Tulowitzki at short. Melee grounds out.
John Gibbons made a point of it to talk to the media today and then emphasized it again that they want to see what Daryl Siciliani can do in the outfield. They want to give him a fair chance against right-handed pitching. Has not gotten a hit, so he will probably play right field against right-handed pitching. Junior Lake will probably play right field against left-handed pitching until Bautista comes off the disabled list. And then Saunders can go back to his familiar left field, and Darwin Barney can become the middle infielder. After saying all of that, Gibby also said September can't get here fast enough.
You can call up the entire 40-man roster if you want to. You can add players to your regular roster. 25-man is the limit before September 1st. So if you're on a 40-man roster, you can call anybody up. Danny Farquhar loosening up for Tampa Bay.
And he was saying reinforcements. We just need some extra bodies around here. Guys are getting beat up, and you're playing every day, and the dog days are here.
Now, even in lopsided games, whether you're up or down, there are opportunities if you had extra players to get the regulars off their feet. Last night was a great example. You just didn't have enough players to make all the changes you wanted to. But you got to figure Dalton Pompey will probably come up in September, and they'll probably bring Andy Burns back, Matt Dominguez, some of the guys that have already been here. Another catcher.
Eric Kratz.
Eric Kratz.
I'm sure we'll see
AJ Menace.
Yes. Some of the pitchers that we have seen this year will probably come up to help out the bullpen.
Logan Forsythe draws the 2-out walk. Second walk issued by Happ. It comes here in the 5th. All of those players, because they're in your organization, they can be eligible for the postseason. If there's an injury to your regular players, they can be replaced by a player that was in your organization. The deadline for acquiring players outside your organization to be eligible for the postseason is August 31st. They have to be in your organization. Darwin Barney was caught in that loophole last year. He didn't join the Blue Jays until September.
And that's always an option also this month of August. Doesn't just because the non-waiver trade deadline has passed doesn't mean the Blue Jays can go out there and try and make a trade somewhere to pick up a body to help them until September 1st.
0-2 to Kevin Kiermaier. Close pitch. Well, everybody in baseball that's in a pennant race right now trying to help improve their ball club. They're trying to help their managers, give them extra options. It's not that easy. Two and two now to Kiermaier. Pitcher's mitt. 6 strikeouts for a half. Through 5 innings, the Blue Jays have a 5-0 lead. The Orioles will be in Oakland to take on the A's in the afternoon. And how about a little night baseball on Sportsnet 1? The Yankees and Boston at Fenway Park. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Michael Pineda goes to the mound for the Yankees. And Stephen Wright, who needs to be in the Cy Young Award conversation, going to the mound for Boston.
And will A-Rod play? We'll see. His final game in Boston. Danny Farquhar will come into this game in the 5th inning. We saw him on Monday pitch an inning against the Blue Jays. This is his 5th stint with the Rays this season. He's a former Blue Jay. He just got caught up in that numbers game with Tampa Bay, up and down 5 times this year.
Floro goes an inning and a third. He gave up just 1 hit, didn't walk a batter, and struck out 4. Two and a third. Excuse me, Floro came in the 3rd inning and pitched very effectively.
Yeah, he did. The only blemish, he gave up that double to Martin on a catchable ball and an error.
Upton drives it to left center. Matuk plays it back in. Melvin Upton 1-for-2 with a walk.
Well, this is how it started for Danny Farquhar the other night when he came into the ball game. Gave a hit to Encarnacion, a hit to Saunders, but then finished off the inning on a line drive and then a double play. Melvin Upton, second time that he's been on base tonight.
Upton had 2 stolen bases in the 1st inning. His first 2 stolen bases as a J. He now has 22 steals for the season. Down and in for a ball to Saunders. Michael has struck out twice so far in this game.
Love to see the Blue Jays stay aggressive here, get some add-on runs. You can hit and run here if you want. You can give them the straight steal, and you got some options with Upton over there at first base.
Now Smoke's a switch hitter on deck, so he has grabbed his left-handed batting helmet with Farquhar into the game.
I want to lay down offensively, even though you've got that 5-run lead. keep trying to score. Get a run here, a run there. I think the Rays are thinking the same thing.
Well, the whole thing with the Blue Jays is they haven't really been swinging the bats that well, so everybody wants to get their stroke going. No time to sit and rest on your laurels. It's August.
He's thinking about it over there. He's trying to time up Farquhar. Hit and run would, I think, be a good call. Michael Saunders has struck out twice tonight. That forces him to stay on that ball, keep his eye on it, try and get it on the ground. The worst thing that could happen, if he makes contact, you got a runner in scoring position.
2-1 now to Saunders. Saunders 2 strikeouts tonight. He now has struck out 31 times in the last 22 games.
If they did put the hit and run on, he hits a ground ball to the left side, it's going to be first and third.
Ground ball. Forsythe has to go to first. Upton moves to second. 1 down.
This Blue Jays Rogers 4K broadcast is powered by the Samsung 4K SUHD TV.
There's our seats, Buck, right there, right underneath the Rogers.
Plenty of room right there to do a broadcast from. Smoke goes after the first pitch. Tim Leeper knocks it down. It was a foul ball. Smoke has gone 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He's had a tough stretch coming into this game, batting .097 for his last 10 games. Inconsistent at bats for Smokey. There goes Upton. He got a great jump. Throw is nowhere nearly in time. His 3rd stolen base of the ball game.
That's what he can do right there. Now he's going to get himself to third base, less than 2 outs. The infield has got to come in, and as a hitter, you see that, you want to cash him in. He's getting himself ready to score for you. Take advantage of it.
Infield is in. 0-2 pitch to Smoke upstairs. Smoke strikes out. 2 down. Now Blue Jays at the start of play tonight, 64 and 50, and they are tied with the Baltimore Orioles, a couple of percentage points behind Baltimore, as the Blue Jays have 1 more win and 1 more loss than Baltimore. The Orioles will play tomorrow while the Blue Jays will be off. Boston a game and a half behind than the Yankees and the Rays.
Win series. That's what you're thinking about right now. Just win series. Take 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, 2 out of 3. And after a couple of weeks, that win total starts shooting up.
Barney hits a high fly ball. Foul ground. Longoria, the 3rd baseman, in foul territory, makes the catch. Blue Jays leave a runner at 3rd base. Will go to the 6th. Blue Jays leading by 5.
On August the 18th, an exclusive event at Rogers Center hosted by Sportsnet's Hazel May, featuring sports-focused panel discussions in support of Jays Care. Visit BlueJays.com/extra innings to get your tickets today. Guys, we go to New York next week to face the Yankees. Nathan Eovaldi was planning to be pitching the opener, but he left tonight's game early on with an elbow injury. Some more bad news for the Yankees.
Nothing but bad news lately for the Yankees. They have gone through a tough stretch. Mark Teixeira will retire at the end of this season. Alex Rodriguez will play his last game on Friday. They've traded Ivan Nova.
Carlos Beltran. They've traded him away. They're two stud relievers.
Chapman and Miller. Quite a different team we will see when we go to Yankee Stadium on Monday. Well, Jay Happ is dealing once again tonight. High fastball ties up Longoria, who's gone 0 for 2 so far.
Russell was raving about that high fastball around the batting cage today, saying, I really like it. It's just been such a good pitch for him this year.
You know, Russell doesn't get the credit he deserves. When you look at this pitching staff, he's got a couple of inexperienced starters in Stroman and Sanchez. And he's got Estrada, Dickey, he doesn't catch, and Jay Happ. So he catches Happ and Estrada and does a very good job with them. And then he has brought the youngsters along very nicely. He's done a nice job.
And he'll get Liriano now, too. Got him back in the strike zone in his first start.
Longoria hits it high and deep down the left side, but that's going to be a foul ball. Hit it off the end of the mat.
But I'm with you. If people say catchers can't make a difference in a pitching staff or the way that the game moves along, they don't know anything about baseball. Might be the most important position if you've got a good one.
Just foul. Longoria shoots one down the right field line, but it's a foul ball.
How many times has Russell played in the playoffs? That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Like 8? 8 times?
I believe 8 times in 10 years.
That's all I need to know.
That's pretty good. Tricky hop for Donaldson, a little extra. Deep at third to gun down his counterpart, Evan Longoria. Jay Happ has 15 wins this season, and if you go back to last August 19th, look where Happ stands in baseball.
Yeah, that's right around the time, right after he was traded to Pittsburgh, and something clicked over there in Pittsburgh. He's carried it right here to Toronto, 22-4. The best in baseball. Better than Arrieta, better than Strasburg, better than Hamels and Porcello. Jay Happ, 22-4 since just about a calendar year ago.
Now, as you know, and I was away from the team for a few games, and I was home in New Jersey listening to national broadcasts on baseball. Nobody mentioned the Blue Jays. It aggravated me. Nobody, well, you know, this good team, this is one of the best teams, this is one of the best teams. Nobody mentioned the Blue Jays. Nobody mentioned their pitching.
I know that aggravated you.
It did.
That's the first thing you said when you came back here.
It's
you
like,
wouldn't believe this.
Pay attention, folks. These guys are good. And it's not just because I'm here broadcasting their games, but all you got to do is look at the numbers. And now they have a 6-man pitching staff. You can pick and choose. And there are going to be some adjustments. Don't fool yourself about that. And I think the pitchers are aware of it.
Although they'll make some adjustments, they might even skip somebody. Use those off days, get matchups that they want to.
Starting tomorrow with the Thursday off day, the Blue Jays will have 6 off days from here to the end of the season. So you just can't keep everybody on turn. And Jay Happ strikes out. Another 7 strikeouts for the lefty. There are going to be too many gaps for starters if you continue to just go straight through and take their normal turn with a 6-man rotation.
In off days, I mean, you're talking once a week. But you can pick and choose, and you can, you know, take your starting rotation and line it up the way you want to.
Genie's starting to loosen up in the Blue Jays bullpen. Jay Happ working in the 6th inning. He's thrown 96 pitches to this point.
Speaking of the bullpen, we haven't mentioned that the Blue Jays made a roster move after the game last night. Danny Barnes was sent back down to AAA, and Blue Jays have Ryan Tepera back out in that bullpen.
That hits it into the seats, foul. Ryan Tepera just joined the ball club before the game today, so John Gibbons has a fresh arm in that bullpen. There's Ryan back in the Blue Jays bullpen. He's been on that Buffalo shuttle a little bit this year.
There's always one guy that has to deal with that. You've got options. You can go up and down.
Donaldson, another ground ball at third. No problem. Jay Happ, 3 up, 3 down. Happ, 6 strong innings. No runs on 4 hits. After this game tonight, the Blue Jays will enjoy an off day tomorrow. Friday, the Astros come into town. The Blue Jays took 3 of 4 from Houston down at Minute Maid Park. And the Blue Jays go into New York Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon. Make note of that. And then an off day next Thursday in Cleveland before they take on the Indians.
Blue Jays will get a shot at Joe Musgrove in Game 1 versus Houston. If you remember that game down in Houston, he came in relief and set a club record for his first big league game, 8 strikeouts.
Former Blue Jays farmhand. He pitched very well. So it'll be interesting to see that Houston club here. Blue Jays lost a heartbreaker in extra innings in Game 1 of that 4-game series. Devin Travis, the leadoff man, has extended his hit streak to 7 in a row.
He's hit the ball hard 3 times tonight. They're straightening out their defense for you, partner, after he's hit a couple of balls to right field.
Logan Forsythe, the second baseman, has straightened up a little more straight away at second. Travis had a base hit through the right side of the infield in the second to drive home a run. 2-2 outside a full count. Travis leading off the 6th. Donaldson will be next, then followed by Edwin Encarnacion. Travis chases that pitch down and in, 1 away. Let's check it with Jamie Campbell. Tommy Lane just signed with the Yankees after the Red Sox let him go, and he gets a big strikeout. Nathan Eovaldi, as Barry Davis told us earlier, left the ball game after just 1 inning. So Tommy Lane pitching for the Yankees after he started the season with Boston.
Take that, huh?
2-1 Boston as they play in the 6th inning at Fenway Park. Drew Pomeranz pitching for the Red Sox. Just 1 run on 6 hits. 3-0 to Donaldson, and he hasn't chased any bad pitches so far tonight. Edwin Encarnacion, he has struck out twice and walked.
They gave him the green light earlier on a 3-0 pitch, and he swung at it that time. Looked like he was thinking about it. Took it right down the middle.
Two hopper to Longoria. Fires across the diamond in plenty of time. 2 away. So Donaldson is 1 for 4. He scored 2 more runs tonight. And he leads the American League in that department in runs scored.
See, he's upset with himself. 3-0 pitch. I think he's thinking about that one and the 3-1 little cutter that he grounded out on. Hitting's tough, even when you're in the driver's seat. 3-0.
Edwin Encarnacion, he is 0 for 2, as we mentioned. He walked in the 2nd, struck out twice. Danny Farquhar, the 3rd pitcher to work for Tampa Bay tonight. Blake Snell, the lefty rookie, started and was knocked out of the game after inning and 2/3. He gives up 5 runs, just 2 earned runs on 5 hits. Foul ball, just wide of 3rd.
Sitting on 299 career home runs. That's where they want it.
Those young fans are all set for number 300. But that ball's got a late movement down and in. Travis struck out on that same pitch to start this inning.
He's not afraid to throw it 3-2 or when he's behind in the count. We might see it again right here.
Russell Martin doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. He walked tonight. There's another walk issued, this time by Farquhar.
Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Proud partners of the Toronto Blue Jays. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Bottom of the 6th inning here at Rogers Center. Blue Jays looking to win the series. First 2 games were split. That ball hit Martin and then bounced off the catcher, so Russell will go to first. Hit by a pitch. Drive of the game is brought to you by the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year.
A miscue in the outfield gave the Blue Jays an extra out, and Troy Tulowitzki's going to take advantage of that. Hanging breaking ball. Squeaks it over the wall down the left field line for his 19th home run. 3 RBIs. Tonight's drive of the game from Troy Tulowitzki back in the 1st inning.
Tulo also walked with the bases loaded to give him 4 ribbies in the ball game. He's now up to 57 RBIs for the season.
He's had some RBI opportunities tonight, hasn't he? 3-run home run his first time up. He came up his second time in the second inning with the bases loaded. He then came up his last time in the fourth with the runner in scoring position. And he's got a couple more on board in his fourth at bat.
And he's behind 0-2. He fouled that one off the catcher, Luke Maile.
Little splitter, and he gets on top of it and watch it just ricochet right back up into the mask and shake up his world.
Tulowitzki with 4 RBIs, second time he's driven in 4 this season. He had a 4 RBI game on the 3rd of July against Cleveland. Well, gets away, but not far enough for the runners to advance. Brian Garten loosening up for Tampa Bay. Floro worked an inning and 2/3. Did a nice job. Now Danny Farquhar in his second inning of relief. Misses away with the fastball. It's 2-2. Baltimore will be in Oakland later on. Giovanni Gallardo starting against Ross Detweiler.
Watch out.
But foul.
I think that game is on Sportsnet tonight, isn't it?
Yes,
Later
it
on.
is. Detweiler will make his A's debut after they acquired him from Cleveland on the 17th of July. He went 4-0 in 4 games in AAA since the trade.
I know what I'm doing later on. Doubleheader.
High pop into the seats down the right side. Tulowitzki putting up quite a battle against Farquhar. Tulo's only 0 for 2 against Danny Farquhar.
Fastballs up, splitters down. If you're a hitter, pick on one of them. Got good stuff. We have seen Farquhar when he was with Seattle. He was actually a closer for the Mariners for a year.
Tulo's on everything he sees right now from Farquhar. He hasn't had too many real good pitches to hit.
That stuff's pretty nasty. Making him work.
Wouldn't chase that splitter in the dirt. Full count, 2 outs. So the runners will be off on the pitch if Tulowitzki can reach. It'll be Melvin Upton Jr. Encarnacion drew a 2-out walk. Russell Martin was hit by a pitch. They'll be moving on the pitch. Souza comes up throwing. Here's the throw to the plate. Encarnacion is standing up as he scores. A 5-ribby game for Tulowitzki. Season high in RBIs for the shortstop.
Have a night, Tulo. Blue Jays get helped out on the 3-2 count. The runners can take off then as soon as the pitcher goes into his motion. So Encarnacion's got a little bit of a lead. That ball was hit sharply into right field by Tulowitzki, right at the right fielder, but by starting the runners, Blue Jays get an important add-on run.
Farquhar's out of the game. Ryan Garten coming on to face Melvin Upton Jr. When we come back, 6-0 Jays. RBI game as a Blue Jay. Drives this ball into right.
Love to see this. Shortens up his swing, shoots it into right field. He'll pick up the RBI as Encarnacion was off on the pitch. That's a beautiful thing. A home run down the left field line, a bases loaded walk, and now a solid single to right field to plate the 6th run of the night for the Blue Jays. Tulo, have a night.
His 5th game with 5 RBIs. His career high is 7. He's done that twice, both of those games coming as a Rocky. New pitcher in the game is Ryan Garten, making his 19th appearance of the season.
He was a late round draft pick out of Florida Atlantic in 2012. Not real overpowering, but he's got a good curveball. And here's an interesting fact for Melvin Upton as he hits for the 4th time. He's facing a 4th different pitcher tonight. Snell, Flora, Farquhar, and now Garten. 4 at bats, 4 different pitchers.
Isn't that interesting? He hits this one high in the air to right. Souza is there, makes the catch in fair territory. The Blue Jays leave a couple of base runners, but they add a run here in there after the 6th. We'll go to the 7th, 6-0 Blue Jays. Is in line for his 16th win of the season against just 3 losses. He threw 98 pitches this evening, 6 innings, 4 hits, didn't allow an earned run, walked 2 and struck out 7. And Jay Happ has really been on a roll.
Yes, he has. He's won 9 consecutive decisions. He drops his earned run average under 3 by not allowing an earned run in 6 innings, and he strikes out at least 7 for the 6th time this season in a start. Now it's up to the bullpen. Joe Biagini, the first one out tonight. There's Joe's numbers this year. 3-2 with a 214 earned run average. He's shown great command and control. He's only had 12 walks in his 46 1/3 innings. Curveball, he says, has been better. He says his cutter has been the pitch that has really improved the most this year. And it's been a nice little pleasant surprise for the Blue Jays.
Well, he sure has. He made the team out of spring training as a Rule 5 player. The Blue Jays had to keep him in the big leagues or offer him back to San Francisco, and the Giants would have jumped at that opportunity. And here he is pitching, and pitching well.
I remember when we were out in San Francisco playing the Giants, and we were talking to some of the Giants people, and they were like, you know what, we never saw him as a reliever, but this really fits him. He was a starter in the minor leagues, but as a reliever, he can come in and throw for 1 inning. Give me your best stuff.
I was standing next to Bruce Bochy when Biagini walked out of the dugout, and he goes, "That's Joe Biagini. We gave that guy up because of his physicality."
6'5", throws hard, good stuff.
We certainly want to send Bruce Bochy and Terry Francona our best wishes. Both of those managers, I guess it just reflects the stress of managing in the big leagues. They both had some medical issues the last couple of days, and I want to wish them well. Let's see Terry Francona in
next
Cleveland.
Week. Yeah. Good pitch. Yeah, we'll see him next week.
The rigors of managing a major league team, no matter what sport it is. When I started, I had black hair.
By the second year, it was all gone.
There's a drive to the alley and right, and Michael Saunders cruises back, makes the catch, one away. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Well, the Blue Jays lost that first game in extra innings 2-1 and then won the next 3. And they're in a rain delay. Minnesota's really been playing well. You remember that graphic we showed you earlier. Since July 2nd, Minnesota and the Blue Jays both have 21 wins.
They're hitting. They are hitting a ton.
Tim Beckham has struck out twice, both of those strikeouts at the hands of Jay Happ. Two balls and a strike. Biagini pitched at a junior college, San Mateo City College, in the Bay Area of California. Scott Feldman pitched at the same school. Then Biagini went to the University of California at Davis, near Sacramento in the Central Valley. 3-1 to Beckham.
And he got drafted by the Giants. We'll take it. That was a mistake.
Yeah, the Giants took him in the draft, and he pitched in the minor leagues for them. Never made it above Double-A.
And then exposed to the Rule 5 draft. Blue Jays alertly picked him.
Good piece of scouting by the Blue Jays. He pitched in Double-A at Richmond in the Eastern League in 2015. He was 10-7 with a very good earned run average at 242. And you look at all of the numbers, he didn't walk many. He had 34 walks, 84 strikeouts. He had a whip of 1.12. So all of his peripherals were pretty strong.
That's what I'd like to see. Big guys who throw strikes, they throw hard, and they have good mechanics. And Joe's got good mechanics.
Well, he works hard on those mechanics, and we see him every single day, and he doesn't waste any time at all.
He's down in that bullpen, and he's working on those mechanics. I asked him about that the other day in Kansas City. I said, I got to get a feel. I want to stay over the rubber just a little bit longer. I just practice my delivery time after time after time until it becomes second nature. It's almost like training your muscles what to do so you don't have to think about it. And he is out there. That's without a baseball. You're just working on your mechanics, fundamentals of pitching, and it'll help you to throw strikes.
He was a 26th round draft pick of the Giants. Another good job of scouting by San Francisco. They just didn't see the whole thing through. That's a fair ball off the bat of Richie Schaefer. And a fan reaches over and picks the ball up, so that'll be a double for Schaefer.
I would like to have seen them leave that ball alone because it was hit so hard, and Darwin Barney got over there so quickly. They might have been able to hold him to a single. Ball hit hard by Schaefer. Told you he was their minor league player of the year last year with 26 home runs. They let that go. That's going to bounce right to Barney. But they interfere with it, and that'll be a ground rule double.
Comes with 2 outs. Martin out to talk to Biagini. Brett Cecil has gotten up. He's starting to loosen up for the Blue Jays. Cecil had a very good inning in last night's game. They tie the top 3 in the order, 1, 2, 3. This is the catcher Luke Maile, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. You know what I really like about Biagini? He gives up a double, comes back and throws a first pitch strike. Nothing phases him.
No, not at all. He is locked in on what he wants to do. He has pitched scoreless ball over his last 11 outings. Come in, throw strikes, make them quality, and you can have success.
14 in the 3rd innings without allowing a run. It's the 3rd longest active streak in the American League. Misses inside. It's 2 balls and a strike to the number 9 hitter. Well, he makes quality pitches with his fastball. He creates a good angle. He's 6'5". He's listed at 240. And the Blue Jays are thinking about moving him back into the rotation next season to give him a chance to start.
It's an option. It's there for him if they want it.
Down the right side, that's going to slice out of play.
This year he has to stay on the big club the whole season. That's just part of the rules on the Rule 5 draft, the whole season, or you have to be offered back to the team that you came from. Next year, if they want to make him a starter, they can put him down the minor leagues if they want to. Or they can leave him in the big leagues and pitch him out of the pen.
2-2 pitch. Cut on and missed. Maile strikes out. Biagini gives up a 2-out double but leaves a base runner in scoring position. Joe Biagini, that cut fastball down and away for the strikeout.
Canada's largest and only official team shop for your Toronto Blue Jays. New 2016 authentic jersey with the 40th season sleeve patches now available. Get yours today at jshop.ca. And you see the crowds right now at the J Shop at Rogers Center, guys. The jshop.ca is a very, very good idea because it's much easier to order online and avoid those big crowds.
Big crowds indeed. Another big crowd on hand tonight. 45,501. Three crowds, over 43,000 each night for Tampa Bay, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And you can bet it'll be a sold-out house Friday, Saturday, and Sunday when the Astros are in town. And the Blue Jays are shutting out Tampa Bay on 5 hits. Michael Sanders goes after the first pitch. Sanders is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts.
I want to see him hit one more. There's the shift. Left side wide open. I want to see him get one more. Establish a new career high for home runs. He's been sitting on 19 a long time.
John Gibbons and you and I were talking with John Gibbons the other day. I believe it was in Kansas City, where he says, you know, those 9s are tough.
Yeah.
If you got 9 home runs, 19 home runs, 29 home runs, 39, those are tough numbers.
Because it's not 20.
Yeah.
Right? And it can play with you. And if you're thinking about trying to get that 20th home run, you can get yourself into trouble sometime trying to lift the ball. Or if you're sitting on 29 home runs and you want 30, it's a relief when it comes.
Sanders strikes out 0 for 4. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Melvin Upton Jr. has 3 stolen bases tonight. The Blue Jays have scored 6 runs on 8 hits. And Jay Happ is in line for his 16th win. Justin Smoak is 0 for 3. High and deep to right. Souza looking up. Get a ball gone for Smoak. His 13th home run of the season.
That one's going to feel good for Justin Smoak. Last time up, he had a runner at third base, less than 2 outs, and he struck out. This time, he's going to take care of that RBI all by himself. That's the reaction right there. Feeling pretty good. That was a thing of beauty, that swing.
His first home run since July 26, and you can see he's relieved that he's finally connected again.
One more time. He's a good low ball hitter. Change up, down, goes and gets it. Out of here.
Home run number 13 for Smoak. And you can see he's glad, and Russell Martin says, "You're back. You're back. I knew you were going to hit another home run." Teammates, they can really get on one another. When you go through a stretch like that, everybody knows what it's like. When you're good teammates, you can take it. Hey, way to go, Smoak. I didn't think you were ever going to hit another home run.
And they know, too. they know that it's been a while since he's hit a home run, and he's gone to a little bit of a rough patch.
This is a very close-knit group, and they pull for each other every single day, and you can see Smoak.
We're right there with you,
continues
Smokey.
to be grateful and thankful for that home run. Yeah, sometimes, and you and I have both been in this situation where you think, am I ever going to hit another home run? Darwin Barney.
I've been in that situation. Am I ever going to get a hit?
Darwin Barney had a big hit in the second. He had a 1-out double down the right field line. Came around to score on the Travis.
See the high five right there from Russell? That was for the ball boy. What an effort on that foul ball by Darwin Barney.
Darwin pulls it in the hole. It's short. That club throws him out. 2 away. There's the ball boy down the right field line, and watch this effort as he jumps for it and then falls over the wall into the seats. But you got to give him high marks for the effort, and he knows the ball players are going to give him some static about that.
That's going above and beyond your job description. Good job.
Top of the order. Devin Travis is 2 for 4. He has scored a run and driven in a run. Doesn't that 307 average look nice?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a rough couple of seasons for Devin Travis. Of course, he got off to his great start a year ago, then suffered that shoulder injury in Cleveland. Couldn't find the root of the problem, had surgery in the offseason. They repaired it, and he had a late start to his season.
But he kept very positive. Anytime you saw him in spring training, you knew he wasn't going to play a lick in spring training this year. But every time you saw him around the clubhouse, he had a smile on his face and said, I'm just going to work. I'm just going to do everything I can to get back. Well, he's back. Better than ever.
Devin did not play his first game in the major leagues this season until May 25th. Darwin Barney continues to talk things over with the hitting coach, Brooke Jacoby. 2-2 pitch to Travis. That breaking ball gets him, and Carden strikes out a pair. Justin Smoke, a little insurance. This home run, number 13 for Smokey, his first hit of the night. Blue Jays have a 7-0 lead. Good swing by Smokey.
Presented by Honda. A lot has changed in 40 years, but one thing hasn't. Honda, proud fan since 1977. Official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
We move to the 8th inning, and that has been the inning for Jason Grilli. He has really done a nice job since joining the Blue Jays. Those are his numbers combined with Atlanta and the Blue Jays. This will be his 46th appearance of the season.
Second time that we have seen him in this series. Also another defensive change taking over in right field. That's Daryl Siciliani for Michael Saunders.
Blue Jays lead it 7-0. Top of the order for Tampa Bay. Forsythe, Kiermaier, and Longoria. Jason Grilli was acquired by the Blue Jays on May 31st in a trade with the Atlanta Braves. He was traded with cash for right-handed pitcher Sean Ratcliffe.
That might go down as a pretty good trade. Really has come in and done a heck of a job in that 8th inning now for the Blue Jays.
Well, not only what he has done with his pitching and his work during the games, he has really tightened up that core down in the bullpen. His experience has really helped out. He's now 39 years old. This is his 14th major league season. He will get his 10 years of major league service on September 5th this year. And that 10 years is a big milestone. As far as the pension goes, you max out once you get 10 years of major league service, and Jason Grilli is really looking forward to that celebration.
Just like we were saying last inning about 9 home runs is not like 10, or 19 is not like 20. 9 years in the big leagues, not 10.
Yeah.
Right?
They have changed it over the years, of course, as the negotiations have improved the situations for the pension plan. But right now, 10 years the maximum service to get full benefits from your pension.
September 5th for Jason. Thought he had him struck out on that high fastball.
Logan Forsythe. Tapper back to the mound. Really takes his time. Forsythe is retired.
You know, veterans, you were just talking about what they can bring to the bullpen. Just a word of encouragement to a young pitcher. Might have had a bad day. Go out there and say something. Just a quick sentence to him might pick up his spirits, might have a positive effect for him. He might notice something that you're doing on that mound. He and Benoit, they've been in the big leagues for a long time. So has Scott Feldman. Those veterans down there talk to the young relievers down there. You just see the positive vibes that are coming out of that bullpen.
Grilli had an impact on Roberto Osuna. And it started last year when Grilli was watching the playoffs and noticed Osuna was using the same timing on every pitch. And he talked to him about mixing up the timing, hesitating, pitching quicker. Don't use the same rhythm on every pitch because the hitters will pick up on that rhythm and they'll time your pitches. So he had an impact even before he got here. He mentioned that once he joined the Blue Jays. Kevin Kiermaier behind 0-2. High fastball, ground ball to second. 2 ground ball outs for Grilli here in the 8th. But another thing that Grilli brings to this bullpen is accountability. You go down there and they're all together. And I can remember vividly how LaTroy Hawkins had the same positive impact on the bullpen last year when he joined the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays used to wander in after games and they'd come in single file, one or another, two together. Hawkins says, no. We all travel together. We're a team down here. And when we leave, we all leave as a unit. And he developed some accountability down there as well.
I've seen him, Jason, get on guys who might come a couple minutes late to stretch, say, hey, we're all out here together. We're a team.
Longoria pops out. What a clean inning for Grilli. 3 up, 3 down. Time now for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Samsung broadcast. Russell Martin. These two played together in Pittsburgh for 2 years, and really loves to throw to Martin, and you can see the enthusiasm on Martin's face as well. It's a great battery, and they brought out the best of each other. 7-0 Blue Jays as they are set to bat in the bottom of the 8th, and they will face another relief pitcher for Tampa Bay. It's the former Angel, former Twin, Kevin Jepsen.
He is returning after pitching for another organization. Last year he was here, he went away to Minnesota. He has come back now, and he has done a heck of a job. 129 earned run average in 11 appearances with the Rays. Good fastball, good overhand breaking ball.
Jepsen pitched 7 seasons with the Angels. He was a 13-18 pitcher for the Angels with an ERA just under 4 over those 7 years. He pitched with the Rays in 2015, a total of 46 games. He was traded by Tampa Bay to Minnesota at the trade deadline last year. This year on July 11th, he was released by the Twins.
And Jim Hickey was telling me, he said, hey, this guy has really been throwing well for our bullpen. He's always had the big fastball and the good power curveball. This is the first time the Blue Jays have seen him in this series.
Jepsen pitched in 3 series in the postseason while pitching with the Angels. So he's got some of that experience we talked about, referring to Jason Grilli. Jepsen is in his 9th season. He's now 32 years old. Jim Hickey, you can see he's riding herd on his pitchers over there at the end of the dugout. He does a great job with his pitching staff.
There's the starters sit behind them. Yeah, their future's bright with the young starting staff that they have.
2-2 pitch. Donaldson goes around. He strikes out. One down here at the bottom of the 8th. Chris Archer did not pitch in this series, but he always has a lot of fun, and now he's having fun at Ace's expense. Archer, a terrific upbeat character, and then Ace tries to get even with him. And Archer made an appearance today, as he often does, and visited some kids, 120 teenage youth coaches and counselors this morning at the International Youth Day workshop. This is popped up a mile high behind home plate. Encarnacion pops out to Maley, who had to wait for it. 2 down.
A lot of things have changed, but one thing hasn't. Honda, official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays, proud fan since 1977.
2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Chris Archer has always been generous with his time. He makes sure that he visits kids whenever he's on the road. He's talked to the RBI groups for baseball, rebuilding baseball in the inner cities, and he's talked to groups in New York, Cleveland, and Oakland this season. And he's always anxious to talk to people here in Toronto. The Jays care leader, Robert Witchell, always tells us that Archer calls him up and says, what can I do for you this trip?
Yeah, especially he's not pitching in this series, so he'll spend his times at boys and girls clubs, speaking to youth. I mean, he does a great job of getting out into the community, not just in Tampa, but all on the road too.
Russell Martin, the catcher, takes strike 2. It's 0-2. Martin is 1 for 2. He walked in the second, was hit by a pitch in the 6th, and he doubled with 2 outs in the 4th. Upstairs, The Blue Jays with a win would pick up their 65th win of the season. Only the Texas Rangers in the American League have more wins. Texas with 67 wins. The Cubs lead all of baseball. They've won 70 games. Martin strikes out. Jepson has a clean inning, and the bottom of the 8th will go to the 9th. The Blue Jays are shutting out the Rays on just 5 hits. Ryan Tepera, fresh back from Buffalo, coming into the game.
$9:50 a.m. Eastern, that's 6:50 Pacific. And Buck, Pat, another great night for Canada. And what a great Olympics we're having in the pool. Penny Olesiak will be swimming in the 4x200 freestyle relay, and she's hoping to become the first Canadian swimmer to win 3 medals at the same Olympics since 1984. So a great job by our Canadian athletes so far.
Good start so far in Brazil. There's Jose Bautista, and it was announced prior to the game that he's on the disabled list. There's some suggestion that he might go down to Florida to rehab that knee. We haven't heard that officially, but he was placed on the disabled list with a sprained knee. And with that, Junior Lake has been called back up from Buffalo. Same for Ryan Tepera, who took the place of Danny Barnes.
Everybody seems to be pretty confident that it's only going to be 15 days for Jose. So we will see how that works. Ryan Tepera, first time since being recalled. 6th stint with the Blue Jays this season. He's been called up a couple of times where he didn't even pitch. Came up for a day.
This is his 6th game in the big leagues, and you're right, he's been back and forth. They've used him basically as some protection for an overused bullpen from time to time. He's having a good year in AAA. He's got 17 saves pitching for the Bisons. Miller pops it into the seats. Tepera is now 28 years old. He was a 19th round draft pick by the Blue Jays in 2009. Got his first taste of the big leagues last season.
Former starter while he was in the minor leagues. He's transitioned into the bullpen now.
It's a high fly ball. This one's slicing toward the seats and out of play. Tepera made that transition after the 2013 season. He made 20 starts in AA Buffalo in 2013, or AA New Hampshire in 2013, then went to Buffalo the next year and pitched exclusively out of the bullpen. Brad Miller 0 for 3 tonight. Good breaking ball ties up Miller. Okay. Miller came into this game tonight 4 for 8 in the series with 3 doubles and a couple of RBIs, but they've kept him off the board so far tonight.
He is sitting on an 8-game hit streak after one of those doubles last night.
Miller knew it. Tepera delivers a first strike on that fastball. 1 down. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Sportsnet Central. Here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmak. That's all coming up right after this game, and lots of news around the baseball world and Olympic coverage. So stay tuned for Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmak right after this ball game.
How about Prince Fielder retiring? That's unfortunate,
tough.
huh?
Really tough. Had surgery, second time on his neck, and just can't continue to play.
Doctors told him that he shouldn't play. He hit as many home runs as his father.
How about that? 319 home runs. Both Prince Fielder and Cecil Fielder, his father, ended up with 319 home runs. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Both of them at one point in their career the most dominant home run hitter in the game at one point.
Maggie Matuk grounds out to Tulowitzki, and the Rays are down to their final out. Blue Jays looking to win this series 2-1. And also move them back to 15 games over 500 and put the pressure on the Orioles to win to keep that tie intact in the American League East. Remember, the Blue Jays will have an off day tomorrow. We'll be back on the air Friday night. Houston's in town. Steven Souza Jr. 0-for-2 with a walk.
Yeah, the fans here in Toronto get their first look at Francisco Liriano as a Blue Jay on Friday. We'll get to see Liriano on Friday and Sanchez Saturday and Stroman on Sunday.
Liriano will go up against the former Blue Jay farmhand Joe Musgrove. Musgrove pitched his first start last time. So Liriano, Stroman, and Sanchez, as this ball is popped up. This should do it. Travis Over makes the catch. That's the ball game. Ryan Tepera retires the side in order in the ninth. Jay Happ becomes the first 16-game winner in the majors. He's now 16-3. As the Blue Jays offense staked into an early lead, and he took it from there.
He took it from there with 6 very good innings. He only gave up 4 hits, no runs, and for the 6th time this year had 7 strikeouts. Melvin Upton with a hit and 3 stolen bases. Flawless defense in center field. The Blue Jays take the series against Tampa Bay and look forward to the Houston Astros.
Well, the Blue Jays are guaranteed to be in first place tomorrow. They'll have the off day. Baltimore will play in Oakland. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Friday night. Houston's in town. Here's Ken and Ivanka, Sportsnet Central.